Greetings my chess friends, and I welcome you to this chess video. And it's been my desire to do some videos on the immortal games of Robert J Fischer. He's my favourite chess player, and not only are his games very instructive, full of ideas and principles that we can apply in our own games, but they contain a sublime beauty. And Magnus Carlsen himself said of Fischer's games that he made chess look so easy. And it's true, when you examine some of Fischer's games, they have a kind of innocency and a simple beauty all of their own. Now, this game was played in Leipzig in 1960 in a chess Olympiad, and Fischer has the black pieces. His opponent opened d4. Fischer was for many years a great exponent of the King's Indian defence, and he gets into that here. Now, the normal move in this position is to protect the knight with a move like d6. But Fischer plays a very provocative move. He castles. And his idea is very instructive and very cunning. He's provoking black to play the move e5. And if black does play the move e5, white will seek to undermine these advanced pawns in the centre. And it's a wonderful teaching point, because see, when your opponent has a very strong pawn centre like this, you must destroy that pawn centre. And if you have a pawn centre, then it's an advantage if you can maintain it. But if you cannot, then it becomes a very easy target for your opponent. And this is the reason why Fischer played this move, to provoke his opponent into advancing one of these pawns, weakening the centre. And his opponent obliged. He played e5. Fischer retreated the knight, and now he immediately goes about destroying this pawn centre with the move d6. And again c5, challenging black's centre and aiming to destroy it. Pawn takes on c5 now. How would you reply if you were black in this position? Well, what Fischer does is quite instructive. He simply keeps developing. He can take this pawn on c5 at any time he likes. So he simply develops the knight to c6. And he's not afraid of either e takes d6 or c takes d6. C takes d6, e takes d6 was played. Knight e4 and bishop to e5. Knight came to g3 and the bishop simply dropped back to e6. And black is in a somewhat precarious position. You can see that his centre is dissolving white rather, is in a very precarious position. You can see that the centre, that strong pawn centre, has been undermined and is dissolving before his very eyes. And his pieces are undeveloped and his king is still in the centre. He plays knight to f3, and Fischer, wishing to preserve his queen, plays queen to c7. And here black plays queen to b1. I'm not entirely sure why. D takes e5, f5. And this is an interesting point as well. If you were black and your piece is attacked with this move f5, how would you react? Would you retreat the piece, or would you do as Fischer does and launches a counter-attack? Of course, the pawn cannot be taken because of a pin along the diagonal once the bishop retakes on f5. So white takes, and Fischer takes and plays f5. And look what has happened to that strong pawn centre of white's. It's no longer solvent. f4 was played, knight f6, bishop e2, and Fischer targets this pawn here. The remnants of that strong pawn centre with rook f to e8. King f2, rook takes e6, rook to e1, and rook to e8. And after this move, bishop to f3, Fischer envisions one of the most beautiful sacrifices in chess I think I have ever seen. See if you can work out in your own mind what happens after rook takes e3. Well, actually, rook takes e3, and then rook takes e3 again, and the king takes on e3, and now the king finds himself on e3. I'll let you see what Fischer saw, in fact, after rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, king takes. And the king has been drawn out into the centre, but it's this last move here that is the culmination of an astonishing combination. Can you see it, dear chess friends? Yep. Queen takes f4, check. And here white in fact resigned, because there is no defence. The king takes, bishop to h6, and it's checkmate. So a very, very instructive game from Robert Fischer. And I think the strategic principle that we can glean from it is that if our opponent has a strong pawn centre, then we must strive to destroy that pawn centre, because the centre in chess is so important. And we must challenge the centre and try to provoke weakness in it. And Fischer did this very cunningly by this move order here, and immediately went about undermining the centre. So hopefully, chess friends, you enjoyed that little look at Fischer's game. I'm going to look at some more of his games because they are possessed of some excellent principles and a sublime beauty. So thank you very much for watching this, and I do wish you well with your own chess.